Well, Pep Guardiola's in the news again. His kind of long unfolding breakdown around Manchester City's poor performance seems to be over for the moment, as Manchester City are now out of the spotlight and finding ways to win matches again. But Pep Guardiola is just a unique human being. All right, I feel like a lot of the managers, the managers that you interact with on a daily basis. Let's take Carlo Ancelotti, for example. I feel like if you were just hanging out with him, it would be a pretty normal interaction. He wouldn't be trying to manage you. He wouldn't split me in half with a single eyebrow. Like, you'd be able to sit down, have a beer, smoke a cigar, I guess, watch some ball. It would be pretty normal. Jurgen Klopp, I get the same feeling. Right? Ange Postecoglou, you get the same feeling. Even somebody like Tuchel or Antonio Conte, you get the feeling that they're not that crazy and, they run a little hot, but they're not that crazy or intense all the time. There is a bro side there. There is a chill side there. There is a face that they do not wear when they are being a manager out in public. Pep Guardiola does not have that. This video, I don't know if you've seen this tweet or anything, it's going viral because Pep Guardiola is he's the same person all the time. The man does not know how to turn it off. Now, there's multiple facets to this video because what he's actually dealing with in this video makes all the sense in the world. This is the sort of situation that if you're not a professional footballer or something that you don't necessarily have to deal with, but if you are, or you're, the manager of Manchester City in this case, you have to deal with this sort of nonsense all the time. And it is not the first time that we've seen somebody in this position lose their mind on this particular topic. But because it's Pep Guardiola, it becomes like all of a sudden I'm watching one of those Amazon Prime Video documentaries. What is it? All or Nothing Manchester City, and I'm getting a team talk from Pep Guardiola, who's firing up the team for the season. That's what's happening. And the setting for this video is Pep Guardiola is approached by people looking for autographs, right? The person in question here is CT Memorabilia 07. Now, I'm going to look them up, but I'm just going to assume that this is somebody that is doing... I just accidentally opened TikTok. I'm just going to assume this is something that... or somebody that actually does this for a living. CT Memorabilia 07, 1,200 followers. If you're interested in any Man U memorabilia, then message me on Instagram. So sorry, as most viewed videos are basically just people driving out of Manchester United in cars. But this is the person that posted the video, and the music's definitely copyrighted. But the crux of what he does is stuff like this. He posts a picture, and it's a Højlund jersey signed by Rasmus Højlund. Højlund shirt available on my Instagram. It is a sale proposition. Right, even the person that posted this video, it is a sale proposition. And you ever watch somebody in the internet world post a video of them kind of getting owned and told that they need to get a life and focus on something else, and that they're being annoying and they're being a leech on society, right? And they think that this person's hoping that it's going to give them clout. And I guess in that case, you're right. But is clout really worth it when everybody's just making fun of you and saying that, hey, what you're doing is probably dumb? So Pep is surrounded by these autograph seekers. And in typical Pep fashion, he decides to basically just give them a sermon. And then this CT Memorabilia guy just posts it.
Don't come again. I want to tell you again. I know your faces. Yeah. Go to the school and prepare yourself, guys. You are age. You are young. You are old. Yes.
I didn't catch that the first time I watched this video. He goes, basically, he's telling these guys, I remember your faces. I won't sign anything for you again. Because he's basically, I'm assuming at the start of this video, he's going, I feel like I've seen you guys before. Haven't you guys asked me for for something to be signed before? But you go focus on something, make something of yourself. You are young. And then he stops at this whole day. He goes, you are not. Looks the guy dead in the eyes and just goes, you're not young. All right. But I mean, we've got 20 more seconds of video here.
You are young, guys. You don't be here, waste your time.
Okay.
You want to live your life doing this? Or honestly?
No.
You want to do the rest of your life doing this?
No.
I used to be a chef before I did this.
Let's continue.
I don't understand. Like, Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest managers of all time, has dropped into sermon mode because he has no off switch. This is just who he is. Very clearly, this is just who he is. There's no way to frame this up at all. Pep Guardiola is somebody that cannot help himself to give advice, to give guidance, to try to motivate. It's something that is just... I mean, Pep Guardiola is the type of guy to talk to his dogs before he takes them on a walk and be like, All right, guys, today is the day we do we pee, we poop. Today is the day. 30 seconds, boom, in, out. I know you can do it. I know you know what's about to happen. Dog, this is your time. And not referring to a friend, referring to the actual dog. Right? That's who Pep. And he's giving this sermon to these guys, and he's going, you need to do something with your lives. This is not a productive thing. I love that. It's a great way to reorganize their perspective. And one or two of the kids seem to be responding in the way that normal human beings would be responding to getting kind of a tongue lashing from, the manager of Manchester City, kind of getting, shit on a little bit, but in a constructive way, going, do you want to do this for the rest of your life? And this kid's like, no. And then the guy that he shit on earlier was like, you are not young. That guy just goes, I'm a chef, or I used to be a chef before I did this. One, admitting that he's getting autographs to sell, right? That's an admission. Because Pep Guardiola, up to this point, at least as I understand it, is not 100% sure that that's what all of these people are doing. He's just saying, I think I've recognized you before. Like, I'm not going to sign anything for you guys again. I recognize your faces. And this guy goes, I used to be a fucking chef. So now what do? You just bother people to, like, you get as many. This is why. If you ever wonder why players and managers and just generally famous people don't sign shit as much anymore, or they get tired of signing shit, or they get mad at fans, it's because of people like this. It's because of people like this. And it happens to everyone. There's a player named Matt Smith who plays the Welsh national team. He was in Manchester City's like academy and U23s and stuff. And he plays Football Manager a lot. So I went to a Wales game, kind of watched the game, and then I met him kind of out by the back of the stadium after the game. And even then, and even with Matt, like, I'm not talking about Pep Guardiola here. I'm talking about Matt Smith. Now, granted, Matt Smith is, a guy that's on the bench for the Welsh national team, literally went to the World Cup, right? He's a big fucking deal. Okay, but he's also not, he's not doing, Gucci commercials either. Right? He had to route me to a specific direction because if he just walks up to the railing, there's going to be 15 of these guys. And I'll be honest, even while I was standing there talking to Matt, this is like my one real experience with these types of people, but they suck. And they have no life, and they're fucking weird, and I wish they would stop. And the response to this is always like, dude, just let me grind. There are a lot of productive ways to make money. Like, in the sports space. I'm doing one literally right now. I'm doing it right now. Right? But relying on the kindness of strangers to sign like 15 things for you, because that's what even happened to Matt Smith. We're standing there having a conversation. This one guy walks up with, I shit you not, 2 arms full of things. And he gets all these different things signed. Cards, jerseys, whatever. And he then brings out a book, and I'll never forget this. He brings out a book with a bunch of pieces of white paper on it and has Matt sign each of the pieces of white paper in the book so that he could then rip the signature and put them on a bunch of different stuff. And Matt Smith, to his credit, realizing that the fastest way to handle this is to just sign it and like tell him to fuck off, he signed all of it. But just interrupting the conversation that we were having, coming way out of his way. Clearly, he's not coming over to sign anything because he's trying to avoid your fucking ass, right? And you just saunter on over there like you fucking own the place anyways. Get this poor guy who just, had a match to sign 25 things for you where he's trying to catch up with somebody and he's already had to tell me to move around 3 times to try and avoid the crowd, but you cretin just happen to be lurking in the parking lot. I'm not blaming somebody for trying to scratch out a living. I'm just saying there are 1,000,001 ways to do it without just actually being a leech on people. Right? The initial point of signed things, right? At least in my mind, and maybe this is overly idyllic, right? The initial point of signed things is little kid gets a ball signed, at least that's in baseball, and then you put it on your shelf and you're like, damn, remember that time this guy signed that ball for me? That is completely corrupted, obviously. And we live in an age of the internet where we've got this kid, TikToking about him getting roasted by Pep Guardiola for saying that he has no life and he needs to change the direction of his life, which I agree completely with Pep Guardiola here. Like, just annoying the shit out of people is if you make your living annoying the shit out of people, I don't have any respect for you. I feel comfortable saying that. And this is a profession, quote unquote, where you just annoy the shit out of people. You just bother people. You guilt trip people and bludgeon people into giving you something that you can sell for, I don't know, what can you sell? A Pep Guardiola signed? What even is that, by the way? That looks like the sort of thing my grandma sews on. Let's hear the rest of the sermon.
Let's continue to do it. Prepare better.
What got bored of that?
Prepare better. Fucking hell, man. This for the whole people is not for you. What is
See, that's what I'm talking about. He has multiple things. He has multiple things. He's like, oh, this would be a good idea. I'd be able to sell this signed by Pep Guardiola. And he has multiple things, and they take a video of it so you have proof that it was signed. But they come up to these people, and they've got this, and then it's like a fucking signature factory, bro. And he knows this. And this guy gets stuffed into a locker by Pep as well. He goes, well, I got bored with it. And he's like, try harder. Pep Guardiola basically just calls him a bitch. He just squares him up, and he's like, the guy was like, I got bored with it. He's like, yeah, I guess you got bored with being a productive member of society. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
your dreams? Tell me, what are your dreams? What did you dream?
And then Pep hits them with like full knowledge bomb.
What did you dreams? Tell me, what are your dreams?
What's your dream?
What are your dreams, my friend? Let's practice, fucking hell. Practice.
Pep Guardiola is the most inspirational guy ever, right? He goes, what are your dreams? And the poor kid's like, I wanted to be a footballer. And it's like, yeah, when I was growing up, I wanted to play in the NBA. But at a certain point, you realize that's not going to happen. And farming signatures on sewing frames, is that, I mean, no, I just realized what it is. He literally has that device so that it's easier for them to sign the shirts so that they can go through them faster. Instead of just like holding a shirt, which is harder to sign when it's loose. Oh, that makes me, I'm going to be sick, dude. That's